Hey, this is Bilgewater, and this is my first ship in my faster-than-light replica series. This is the Torus, a replica of the Engi cruiser. The ship was a lot of fun to build. It's actually composed of 4 separate pieces. The ship was assembled in low Kerbal orbit. The front and rear pieces are modified versions of each other, as well as the 2 arms that connect them. Each piece is manned by a 2-person lander pod, giving the ship a total crew of 8. The front body is equipped with a canopy-style pod to act as a helm. So, 4 separate pieces meant 4 separate launches and 4 separate orbital maneuvers. The first piece to go up was the front body, where I mentioned the helm is located. This piece also has 1 small weapons dock and 1 centralized senior port, primarily for refueling. The next piece to come up was the right arm, equipped with radial fuel tanks and a crew bay to assist in personnel transfer. Here it is making the final approach, performing the last couple of docking maneuvers it has to straighten itself out, get the alignment correct. It's very important on a ship like this, so asymmetrical. And once I had this attached, I was half done with my ship. This is the second time I've built this ship. Last time I built it back to front, but I thought about it and realized that was a terrible idea. It is so much easier to dock small or balanced things to larger or unbalanced things than vice versa. So I decided to launch the front body first and make that the center of construction, because it and the right arm are by far the most unbalanced. That way I could finish with the rear body, which is very easy to pilot. I mentioned that construction took place in low Kerbal orbit, lower specifically about 75 kilometers. So what I did with each successive piece was I took it up to about 120 kilometers, where you can time warp up to 100 times. And I slowed down relative to the construction site, allowed the construction site to catch up to the new piece. Once I saw that they were fairly close to intercept, I would set up my maneuver node to burn retrograde and make my rendezvous. It's a little hard to see, but here I'm rotating the left arm to align it with the front body. The orientation of these parts is really important. In particular, this arm has a side-mounted weapons dock, and I'd rather have it pointing at someone else's bridge instead of its own. But luckily, it's pretty easy to correct alignment after you've docked, so if you mess it up on the first pass, it's not really a big deal. In addition to the weapons mount on the left side, it's also got 2 attachment points for drones on top of it, so this is more or less the weapons and drone control module. Here's the final piece, the rear body, finally getting ready to dock. Just sort of twirling in space here for a minute as I get rid of the boosters. This piece has the engines attached to it. I did want to be able to fly this ship, although in the actual game it doesn't appear to have any engines, except for the faster-than-light drive, but I figured I could strap 2 little tiny engines onto the back of this, and I think it looks pretty good. I think it matches the aesthetic pretty well. final approach of the rear body. Once this is on, the ship, of course, is finished. All it needs now are a few armaments so that it can blast whatever enemies it wants out of the sky, which is always the most fun part about flying these ships. Although, orbital assembly, I really think it's a lot of fun. I'm pretty used to docking by now, and I find it to be much more pleasant than building gigantic ascent stages, which really gets tedious. But yeah, here it goes. As I was saying about alignment, this is probably the most important one, but if it just kind of snaps on, you're ready to go. So, in the next video, I'll be probably putting on some weaponry on this thing, some torpedoes, maybe a smart bomb, and a few drones. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and can't wait to put up my next video. Thanks. Bye.